Recorded observations. For now, meant only for my own eyes and ears. I have problems. Problems that I thought I should have been able to overcome by now. I'm addicted to porn still. Money's tighter than it's ever been. I can fake my way through most things in school except for math. Quantitative reasoning. Math has never come so easily to me as words have. But even laying all that aside, my biggest problem thus far is still probably the depression. It's not strong. It does not hold so extreme a grip on me so as to prevent my daily activities, my work, exercise, reading. But it has stopped me from developing in other areas. I have few friends, I must say, and that is largely by choice, if not intentional choice, then by implication of myself choosing not to engage as much as I would have otherwise. The exhaustion, it gets to me every day. The lack of serotonin, of happy chemicals in the brain, dopamine. My brain health is not what it could be, that is for certain. I am ashamed of my habits. This is true. Though I keep justifying them, saying that this is what keeps me going. This helps me, even if it hinders me now. This helps me now, I should say, even if it hinders me in the long run. But the long run is always the most important. And I am a liar. I've lied so many times, in small ways. Also by implication, by omission, obfuscation. But a liar still. And I do not really have a very strong faith. Not nearly as strong as my parents would like to believe, or my church. I continue to work here because it feels like I have nowhere else to go. I have other job opportunities, that is true. But none of them feel worth it. This job is cake. That much is true. But it doesn't pay very well. And truth be told, it's starting to become obvious. It's been obvious how much I'm struggling financially, spiritually. I've given up on the help groups. I've given up on mentors, except for Seiji, who am I only call when I need consolation. I'm still living in my parents' house. This would not be the case if my motivation to move, to walk, was any higher. But the simple truth of it is not. Maybe this is why I never moved to Colorado with Abby and Ruben. Maybe I should. Maybe it would provide a necessary change of pace. Or maybe it would just expose me in all the areas that are the worst. The worst in me. Maybe it would just cast me even further down. I tell myself I stay at my parents' still. Because of the free food, no rent, free utilities. But then I look at these hands and I wonder what I'd do with them. My effort, my work. I got a D on my math test. This is not acceptable. Not in the long run. I must get A's, better grades from here on out. Everything else I can do myself. Math, though. Math. It's always stopped me. My brain just looks at all those numbers and equations and matrices and conversions and it just gets a headache. But this is what is needed. And you can see what the real problems are just listening to me talk. Math isn't a real problem, not really. It's so simple. This is 8th grade education that I am relearning, quantitative reasoning. This is stuff that I had back in high school that I am trying to relearn again. The problem is that I only ever seem to manage to make myself try so hard before I run out of will for the task. My self-care, my motivation, my willpower is astonishingly low. I cannot seem to keep myself from staying up late hours in the night, telling myself one more video, one more chapter, one more game to fill the void that can't ever be filled. Trying to keep the despair back at bay. Seiji tells me I need medicine, that it would help me find myself more rather than lose myself, become a better version of myself. This is maybe true, but I am not willing to give my parents yet another financial burden when Jeremiah is already barely making it through his own school. Abby is doing all right, but she still has her own problems. Cars need to be fixed. Rent needs to be paid. Tuition needs to be bought. I thought things would be different this time when I made the first payment on tuition myself. At FTCC, I thought this would provide myself with some kind of new vigor, new motivation. I should have known better. It would have been the same in Colorado, except Ruben would have been the one to deal with me at my lowest instead of my family. It would be the same anywhere. This is why I don't like journaling, because expressing all the stuff that I keep inside, it is horribly depressing. Any objective observer would look at my situation and they would say, Calvin, this isn't so bad. So you got 1D. You're still in school. You haven't failed. Things haven't gone catastrophically wrong yet. It's all recoverable. Your credit, recoverable. Your tuition, recoverable. Your grades, recoverable. Everything is still salvageable. You can make this work. You just have to grind. You just have to grind. Why can't I just make myself grind? Why can't I make myself focus? Why don't I want this enough? Why don't I want to succeed enough? No one can make me want to succeed for me. As much as mom and dad are praying, I'm not sure all the prayers in the world could make me desire what I don't desire for myself. Not enough. Guinevere and George, they found some hint of this bottomless pit inside me that seems to suck up everything that I try to be. They were concerned, naturally, but I played it off. I made it seem as though it was just a phase, a part of the situation, of the rigors that was YWAM. It's not. It stays with me. It makes me question my faith, if I even have any faith left. It makes me question my motivation. It makes me think about what I really want without ever providing an answer. Not a satisfactory one. I just drooled a little bit. I saw that. I think I put up a good front, but I'm sure the signs are there. Everyone I know, everyone I call friend, they never ask me if I want to hang out. Very, very rarely. I'm always the one who has to initiate, because I am not really the first one to come to mind when you think of having a fun time. I'm someone who could be there, who could be tolerated, even enjoyed in the proper setting. But I don't know, it seems like more often than not, people are more comfortable when I'm not around. Maybe that's just the atmosphere I bring out. Maybe that's just the attitude that I bring. Mom says I sigh a lot. I told her it's because I run short on breath sometimes. I don't think that's really the case. I think I sigh a lot because I am just not all there. Maybe a little bit mentally, not emotionally. I don't know what to do. My pride won't let me find another group to join and fail in. Even though I'm not sure pride is something I can continue to call it, because dignity has become more something I fake than something I have. Sometimes I still pray. Sometimes I still ask God for things, but the hope isn't there anymore. Not, at least not as strong as it used to be. The faith, the knowledge, the reassurance that He is listening and that He cares, that made it better sometimes, thinking that He, even if He wouldn't do anything, even if I couldn't see Him working, even if I couldn't see anything happening, at least He cared. It's hard to feel that way anymore. I try to be logical, objective, but my mind is the elephant, not the rider. If there's one good thing critical thinking has taught me thus far, it's how to separate and distinguish the individual parts of me that drive me. And the elephant has far more control than the rider does. The elephant, the emotional part, has free rein. It stampedes, it runs loose. Or it just lies down and does not really get back up. The rider looks at him, but he is weak. The rider is small. The rider cannot make the elephant move. All I can do is try to convince it. But my rider is not very good at persuasion, it seems. I feel like I am the uncomfortable part of mana that people would rather pretend not exist. Everyone knows to some degree that I am not as peppy or happy or as passionate about the church as the rest of them are. They know it to some degree. They know. Speaking is easier than writing. I find when I pick up a writing utensil and I try to put words on paper, all that ends up doing is me making a sentence or two, staring at the paper, lost in my own mind for an hour at a time, and then just giving up. This is easier. And I can put this in a transcript machine, I think. I'm still going to continue working out. I'm still going to continue trying to maintain some semblance of liveliness, but the strain of caring, not of the pressure, not of the work pressure, the strain of caring, of trying to care. That's what's getting to me. I am weak. I understand this. I am not one of the great minds of old who pushed past boundaries and challenged notions of traditional value to make their own. I am not the brave conquerors who came before, who brought the world to their knee with strength of arm and wit. I am not the charismatic leader, author or speaker or actor, whose inability to perceive his own catastrophic failure keeps him going. I am not that. Sometimes all I can think about is my own catastrophic failure and how close it is every day. And how, more than that, how pathetic I really am. The truth of me is that I am not a stable adult. Not really. I am taking the step now, which most people would have taken 6 years ago. Is that how long it's been? 6 years since I left high school? What have I spent those 6 years doing? Mooning over girls? Trying to find life and meaning and purpose in one religious program or another? Trying to decide what to do with myself? Never trusting a single soul with how I actually feel, what I actually think. I don't trust anyone with these thoughts. No one can know how weak I really am. Because if they did, they would give up on me too. The church likes to pretend that it's there. The church likes to think that it is the last resort for those who need hope, that it is always the final bulwark. But what does the church do for the people who don't want really to be helped? What does the church do for those who it has tried to help again and again and again? It does what all other humans do. It gives up. You can't help someone when they don't want the help. I feel like I want the help, but I haven't put forth enough effort. It's not really the church's fault. The church, for all of its inspired teachings and ideals, is, in the end, only human. It has many, many, many failings. Too many to name. But the sad fact is that without the church, humans are worse. No rules, no boundaries to guide them. Cast adrift. No common purpose. No sense of neighborhood. No sense of community. hostile and suspicious of one another. If there is one thing I agree with the church on, it is this. Without the moral ideal of God and Jesus, something above mere ethics and philosophy to bind us together, something truly supernatural to believe in, we fail. And even then, we still fail deeply. The church is not as inclusive as it would like to be. It is by far more exclusive. But this is also not really its fault. It is the fault of human nature. How we are is tribalistic. However, we try not to be. I am also lost adrift. Nothing seems to shake me from my stupor. Nothing seems to wake me up from this zombified state of mind that I seem to have become trapped in. I try to feel hate, anger, but even those are too much effort. No. Happiness, contentment, joy, those are easier to reach. Strangely enough. Maybe because they actually require less effort than hatred and anger. There's a lesson for you. Hatred isn't worth holding on to. It does not give you what you want. It does not give you what you need. It only takes from everyone involved. I don't know how to become the man I want to become the man I want to be. I don't know how to do what everyone else seems to do so naturally. Do the important things that need doing. Do them on time. Understanding the assignment and then getting after it. There's something that's missing in my machine. A vital power drive. And it feels like instead of gas, I've been trying to run on canola oil. But canola oil, that's all I have. I can't reach the gas. It's out of my bounds. I don't have money for therapy. I don't have money for medicine. I don't have money for anything. I am frightened of becoming those people I see on the street. Lost, adrift, useless. Without a purpose. Nothing holding them together but a few scraps. I feel like if it ever truly came to that, I would kill myself. I would not be able to bear the shame. The disappointment. I must not let it come to that. But my reasons can't be for avoiding disappointment. My reasons must be for the joy that is found in success. For the life. For the accomplishment, the achievement. For the thrill of becoming, getting what I have worked for. If only the army had taken me. Maybe there's still a chance for the Air Force. I have some years left. If only the military had taken me. At least then, I could pretend a little easier. It's recoverable. It's all still doable. I can do this. Even the math. Even if I don't get a 4.0 GPA, I can still get my bachelor's degree. I can still get my associates. I can still move out of my parents' house and become my own man, an independent one, a strong one, a worthy one. What is worthy? Worthy is value without shame. Value without all the guilt, all the roadblocks. Worthy is value with confidence and knowledge. The confidence to utilize that knowledge and utilize it effectively in pursuit of your dreams, whatever they may be. Maybe I would like being a teacher. I should like seeing people I help become more of themselves, be able to reach and attain their own goals and dreams because of my help. There are not enough teachers. But the world is not kind to teachers. The countries, the schools, the entire educational system is not kind to teachers. They are its pillars, and yet they bear too much weight. I have avoided this path so far for this reason. Maybe if I wrote poetry or something, I don't know. Mike did it. I've read his stuff. It wasn't bad. The exhaustion gets to me, especially when I don't sleep. But it's hard to want to sleep. When I feel like there's nothing waiting for me but the blank emptiness again. This is why I don't sleep. Because when you turn all the lights off and put the books away, and there's nothing to see, nothing to stare at but yourself, well, it's not always a pretty sight. Ruben was right in that I do not really enjoy my own company, and that I will never be healthy until I do. The truth is, I am the thing I despise. The things I hate and revile in others are the things I hate and revile in myself. This has always been the case. So many flaws and failures. They seem to trump the successes. It is hard to look at myself and see real potential that isn't wasted, spent. What is my destiny? To become a blue-collar worker for the rest of my life? To accept a job teaching at an elementary school or a high school? Living in the same city? Having dreams? Having knowledge, but never being able to capitalize on them? Cursed to live such an ordinary life? Is this what awaits me? All because I did not have the will to do what needed doing, to sacrifice, to attain those dreams, to become mobile, to become renowned, to become known. But maybe those are the wrong reasons. Maybe those are the wrong reasons. I would like to be like one of my favorite authors, answering fan letters, having multiple PhDs, history and teaching at prestigious universities, writing trilogies of wonderful best-selling novels, thousands, maybe even millions of fans, all clamoring for more and getting so much from my work. That is the dream. To live and be a writer. To make something. Create something. Like all those I admire. I just need to find myself in the process before that can happen. Where are those who would understand me? They are far away. They are not close to here, to me. We must make do with what we have. I have not crashed and burned yet. I still have time. I still have time to succeed. I still have time. Jordan, wherever you are, man, I hope you're happier than me. I truly, truly do. Do you remember when we used to play in the playground in front of the school? Make up characters and stories with entire arcs and storylines. All plagiarized from other works of fictions, of course, but since when was it not with kids? Or at least kids of our generation. You're following your dreams. You got married. You're in a band. You have almost everything you've ever wanted. Friends, a life, worth. And what do I have? All that I've failed. It could be worse. I could be like so many of my other friends in high school, people I knew, and have failed even further at accomplishing anything at all. I could be so much worse off. But I still look back and think, what could have been if we never left Kansas? If I got to grow up alongside you as I thought I would. I do not think about this often. Actually, this is the first I've really considered the concept. What if we never left Kansas? What if we were still best friends? Would you have tolerated me then? Would you have found it still difficult then to be my friend? Everyone else seems to think that this is the case. I am not the easiest person to be friends with. I am by far more of a burden, a weight to pick up from time to time. At least it seems this way. I do not really regret the circumstances that led me to be here. Only the choices that I made in the midst of them. I do not regret the internship. Not even that, no. Not even that debacle with the relationships and my distraction and my emotional volatility. And I by far do not regret YWAM. It was a wonderful experience. One I wouldn't trade for anything. But I do regret that I did not have the courage to grab onto, take hold of change and not let it go. I do regret all the lost opportunities. Here's an opportunity now. I am in college. I have 2 jobs. I must not waste it. These are the thoughts I keep to myself. Because I am a melodramatic bastard. Some days it feels like I have to be. For if I do not add great and grand import to my exploits, to my endeavors, then what was ever the point? If I don't take myself seriously, who will? Who will? Many people have said to me over the years, leaders, people who looked at me and understood me, people have told me that I have been abandoned one too many times by people. Well, I think it was more life and circumstances and my own decisions that did the abandoning, but they weren't wrong. Things have been ripped away from me a few times. I do not think that this makes me special. Do understand. I am by far no more exceptional or unique than the next man. I am merely a common, ordinary soul with too much thinking and not enough doing in his mind, with a hole inside of him that doesn't seem to have any good solution for filling. I am not special. I shouldn't consider myself as such. Therefore, what's stopping me from just taking what I want? From striving with great effort and vigor to achieve, as so many have done before me. What keeps me from this? What keeps me from just overcoming myself and my own self-doubt, my own self-pity, and just doing what needed doing? What's stopping me? What really is stopping me? This is the question that I can't ever find an answer to. At some point, I'm going to have to get back to work. I can't stay here forever, ruminating on my failures. In fact, this is likely more detrimental than it is beneficial. Irregardless, it feels good to do. Vent in my own depressing way. But we do not stop. We do not lie down forever. We must continue. Pick up and move forward. No matter what happens next, we must always find our next step forward, no matter how difficult it is to see. We must continue.